Dun, dun, da, 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 da. Shenanigans. Do 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 do. Da da. Bum ba da da. Bum ba 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 ba. Okay. So, got some water. Got all my stream stuff set up. So far, we're not dropping any frames. This is good. Okay. So, today we must make some progress on this dastardly case that is making us confront this dude. Oh man, I didn't know that they changed what picture you have to show off the case you're on. And that badger stares into the abyss and into my soul. Isn't it, Captain? Hey, how's it going? Alright. I think last time we were starting our investigation. We're not allowed to leave this area, so we might as well get started. You're sus immediately. Oh, fuck. The saw! No! Alright. I don't know if everyone who's played this has done this before, but we're gonna play Blue Badger, Who's in the Suit? And is there any guesses on who's in this one?
Hey, it's the Blue Badger! Badger, get!
I really don't understand why she is so excited over this badger hunt. Speaking of badgers, there's a person inside of there. Mr. Badger, I wonder if you might share with me what you saw. Da 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 da. I'm like 70% certain who that is. Like, I'll say this. I'm pretty sure everyone who's in a badger suit is someone you've seen before. Oh no, is it the dork with the megaphone? If it is that person's name is Officer Meekins. You might recall from the last case of the first game, and I think he shows up again later. He's doing that contorted wiggling dance again.
Ah!
Who had a very similar salute. I'll be honest, Captain, I do think you are correct, but I am not 100% certain because it has been a while since I played this game.
Aha!
Look who it is! I don't know the rules. I'm almost certainly wrong, but still, the judge.
Ah! You've uncovered my undercover identity, sir. I was to remain under that head, sir.
Aren't you an Officer Meekins?
Sir! Mike Meekins reporting for duty, sir.
This man was a witness in one of the cases I headed 2 years ago. About the only thing I remember about this officer is that he often spoke and acted before he thought, which gave me a great deal of headaches.
Is he a friend of yours, Mr. Edgeworth?
I've met him in a courtroom once before. Why was he so upset when we unmasked him? Does he have something to hide? Officer Meekin, why are you dressed up as the Blue Badger in this theme park? Mike Meekins. Officer Meekins, why are you standing here wasting time? Long despair-filled sigh. That's a mood. Sir! It's because I'm a police officer right now, sir. I'm the Blue Badger. And I'm creating memories and dreams for kids. That's why it's never a waste of time, sir. I have a dream to become as big as Detective Gumshoe, sir. Oh, okay. Look, I love Gumshoe. But maybe we aspire to greater things.
I was patrolling on the scorchingly boring beat until a little while ago, when that dispatch radio on my shoulder crackled that the kidnapper has escaped, sir. I thought maybe this was my shot at making detective, sir. I rushed over to join in, but when I got here, there was a sea of people already.
That's a good point. Detective is like a rank you reach, right? So, like, Gumshoe reached the rank of detective. He's not just an officer or like an average cop. He's like
And I couldn't spread my trademark friendliness and joy onto anyone.
It would seem that some people never change. So, why exactly are you in that ridiculous outfit?
Sir, that's because, sir, I'm here to keep the visitors in good spirits, sir. But it's also to hide the fact that I'm an officer on the trail of the kidnapper, sir.
I see. Agent Lane is very wise to employ this sort of diversionary tactics.
To be handed the role of the Blue Badger out of all the different disguises, sir. It's such an honor.
Any clues? How long have you been standing here, officer?
Sir, for about a little over an hour, sir.
That's around the time I woke up from being knocked unconscious.
And I've been here ever since, sir.
If that's true, then it's possible Officer Meekins saw the kidnappers escaping.
However, sir, I must tell you, I didn't see a thing, sir.
I haven't asked you anything yet, officer.
No, but I know you will, sir.
He's hiding something from me. Officer Meekins, I insist that you tell me more about your recent movements.
Sir, I've been playing the Blue Badger this whole time, sir, and getting into it too. I patrolled the park, all the while wearing this costume. And about 1 hour ago, I came over here, sir. I haven't seen any suspicious-looking people in this whole time, sir. But I did see a badger, sir. A lone Blue Badger.
What you said just now is a contradictory to the facts. How so, Mr. Edgeworth? This is what Officer Meekins' testimony contradicts. Oh, that there should only be one of each.
Take that!
Your testimony contradicts this piece of evidence.
I'm just a little patrolman. I don't understand what you're talking about, sir.
I can say that I can't say I get it either. Ugh. Wait, what? Okay, fine. Sorry, officer, but could you please repeat what you said one more time?
Of course, sir. I'd be honored to repeat myself as many times as needed, sir. For almost a whole hour, I didn't see a suspicious-looking person about, sir. But I did see a badger, sir. A lone Blue Badger.
As I thought, what you said is now contradictory of the facts.
What's so contradictory?
Oh, did I pick the wrong one? It's this one that I was supposed to look at, right? There's only one of each member? Yeah, there we go. Whoops, I just picked the wrong magazine. Hey, CJ. It goes officer, detective, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, commander, deputy chief, assistant chief, and chief. I see. So he's not like high up. He's just a tier above officer. So clearly Gumshoe had did a few things to get him decorated enough to get the rank of detective. Officer Meekins, let's back things up. I'd like to ask you about your last statement.
Sir, of course, sir. If that's what you wish, Mr. Prosecutor. This is little patrolman will wait as long as I am command to wait.
You said that you saw the blue badger, correct? And yet, if you take a look at this, what you saw was not supposed to happen. This park is supposed to only have one of each badger in it at any given time. Which means that as long as you are the blue badger, Officer Meekins, you should not have seen another blue badger wandering the premises.
What, sir?
Then that would mean that there are two blue badgers walking around? But why? Dun dun dun.
Sir, I'm undercover. I must pretend not to know anything about anything, sir.
Alright. I think that's it for now with Meekins. Actually, Kay, do you have... Oh, you don't have any discussions? Okay. Oh, wait, that's the X button, actually. If I click that.
Yes?
Kidnapping. Kay, what do you think about the kidnapping?
Well, I don't know anything about the victim. So, actually, I was hoping you could tell me.
Ah, that's right. I never did explain the situation to you. I got involved because of a phone call I received. It was from none other than the director of the Amano Group, Mr. Ernest Amano. His only son, Lance, has been kidnapped, and he wanted me to be the drop-off man. Little did I suspect that I would be abducted myself. Why would you call a prosecutor to be your drop-off man? It's always interesting to me the lengths that they will go to in this game to be like, yeah, you totally would get a lawyer to do this task for you. It makes me curious about what the actual role of lawyers are in Japan and how much that infected Ace Attorney as a whole. Like, obviously there's things exaggerated wholly, but you know.
And that's when I found you tied to a pole screaming.
Yeah. Can you please drop that already? Alright. Hey dude, how's it going? Excuse me, but could you just let me through here?
Sorry, I can't let anyone through. Agent Lane's orders.
Ugh. Suppose I'll have to deal with this impasse for now. Horses are painted on this garage door to complete the Wild West theme.
They look so lifelike, don't you think?
Are you thinking of wrangling, or rather stealing them?
If you can coax them out there, sure. Come on. I know you can sweet-talk them out.
I could be holding a cube of sugar in my hand and they wouldn't budge, Kay.
Look, there's a blurb about cactuses here. This cactus is a very gracious gift to Gatewater Land from the local police precinct.
I can't believe the police went so far as to even donate a cactus to this place. That face on Edgeworth right now. Their pay should all be cut.
So, is this the police department running a cactus farm on the side? Just kidding. They wouldn't do something so silly.
Actually, I have a vague impression I've seen a cactus farm at the precinct before. Oh no. Alright. Got a rope.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, isn't this one of those things you tie horses to?
Yes, although the horses are in from another location at the moment. Or in another location at the moment.
Aww. And here I was hoping I would get to ride one.
You know how to ride a horse?
Nope, never rode one in my life. But I have an Asian friend who was born in the year of the horse.
Okay. Why? Non sequitur is the only way to describe your logic.
Hey, there's a bunch of footprints in the mud over here.
I remember hearing the rainfall out here while I was being held in there. Yep, it was just a passing rain. That's why the ground is already pretty much dried up. I should be thankful. It left us with some nice footprint samples. You know what? I bet if we followed them, we can figure out where the kidnapper went. Plus, we'd be able to spot them because of the muddy shoes. I don't think it'll be that easy. Why not? Look carefully. There are quite a few sets here. And we don't know which ones belong to the kidnappers. Oh, that's true. We don't know what kind of shoes they were wearing. Alright. Hey, dude. We've already talked to you, right? I think he just says the same thing, hey? I got you now, you vile criminal! I think the kidnappers would have better sense than trying to hide in these. Oh, come on, lighten up, will ya? I was only joking. I don't really think that the criminals would be hiding in here. Right in front of the two officers. I certainly hope not. If these were real, I wonder what you'd put in them. Water would be obvious answer. But if you stored water in a barrel under the blazing sun, wouldn't it go bad? People of that period probably didn't care how it tasted. Sorry, but I can't let you get away with making fun of our forefathers. I mean, maybe they really liked that strange taste. Look who's making fun of them now. Okay. I'm gonna guess there's some logic that needs to happen now. They're kept in the room. There is a second blue badger. What types of shoes were they wearing? Well, we know that they were a blue badger, so the assumption would be they are blue badger feet. No, apparently that doesn't count. I am missing some logic. Oh wait, these tracks. A set of tire tracks originating from the garage. Ah, so that means the car left from the garage sometime, right? Correct. But for the car to leave these tracks, it would mean that it left during the passing rain. That's the only explanation as to why these tracks are made of mud. 3 treads. I think we can safely assume it's a special type of car. Okay. A second was spotted. Are we supposed to say that the costume came from there? Yes, okay. It was the other connection I was supposed to make from that. Sure, okay. A second blue badger that shouldn't exist. Clearly, the true identity of the person underneath is... Oh, I know! It's one of the kidnappers, right? The person who wore the costume to get away. Precisely. After all, the costume that went missing from the storage area are... a blue badger, a proto-badger, and a bad badger. Yes, those 3. So, there are 3 phony badgers running around the park somewhere, huh? Dun dun dun. Right, because there's... one pink one was left behind, and there's supposed to be one of each out. So there's 3 extras running around. And they were wearing the... Now this should work, I assume. Yeah. Now that we know the kidnappers were wearing the badger costumes, those footprints from earlier take on a new and a very significant meaning. Oh, you mean now we know which tracks belong to the kidnappers, right? Yes. More than shoe prints, we need to follow the paw prints of the badgers. Okay, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to use those footprints and go badger hunting. Yeah, let's go badger hunting, guys.
So we're looking for footprints made by the costume. Hey, I think I found them. There are 2 sets here.
They both do look like possible candidates.
This set's walking off west. Ugh, just stops. I can't make heads or tails of where it's headed from here.
I think we can assume it's headed towards the stadium.
I wonder where the other set leads. This one seems to be headed east.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting badgers. Yes, we found the badger.
Huh? Quick, Mr. Edgeworth! I've got him! I got one of the culprits!
No, I'm not a kidnapper, sir! Down K. Clearly those footprints belong to Officer Meekins. But our criminals were each wearing a costume.
Ah! Maybe they came over to this garage for something?
That would... That's what I would suppose. Officer Meekins, if you could step aside for a moment. We need to examine the garage. Or the garage. That's what he would say. We need to examine the garage.
Sir, Roger, will go, sir.
What? Oh dear. There is a big mark on there. Let's open this shutter and see what we find.
Maybe we'll find the kidnapper hiding inside.
Oh!
Guys, we found a dead person.
I think it might be the butler. Look, there's always got to be an actual murder victim, right? It's not an Ace Attorney game otherwise. We seem to have stumbled across a dead body. She must be in severe shock to have been the first to find it. Now then, who is this man? It's Oliver! Mr. Amano, are you saying that this man... Yes, he is my butler! How could something like this have happened? Indeed. And why was Mr. Deacon here to begin with? I'd better investigate this crime scene quickly before Agent Lang or his men return. The kidnapper's footprints lead right to this garage. This garage, if you will. And right to a dead body. Is it possible one of the kidnappers is now a murder victim? Ooh, considering. From my cursory examination, I believe this man died of a fatal bullet wound. He was shot dead.
You sure are calm for someone who just found a body.
It's surprising what one can become accustomed to in the span of 2 days. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, there's the bullet wound. As long as the Interpol agent has control of this case, I'm not going to be able to have a real autopsy done on the victim. I'm no doctor, but let's see what I can piece together myself. There are 2 gunshot wounds, one in his abdomen and one in his shoulder. You know, I feel like in a future Ace Attorney series, one of the assistants probably should be like a medical person, a la Watson. But maybe that would be too much information for you going into a case. Since they really like to play with you understanding how something was done.
So that means he was shot twice?
No, I don't think so. I think the abdominal one is the entry wound, and the one near his shoulder is the exit wound. Oh, interesting.
Nice, I knew you could figure it out.
It comes with experience. I've seen my share of crime scenes. Speaking of experience, this crime scene seems a bit too clean for a murder, where the bullet went clean through. I should make a note of this oddity. Yeah. Clearly he didn't die here. Otherwise there'd be a lot of blood on the ground. Horse! This is an unusually shaped pendant. What is it? Is it something valuable? She seems to have regained some of her composure. It looks like a horse pendant. It's got an antique feel about it, and it's really pretty. Hold on. This is made of platinum silver. Nice! It is worth something after all. Oh, and look, there's something written on the back. Colin Devoray. Devoray? It's a name. Colin Devoray. But this man's name is... It's something sus. Oh, can I not? Okay, I guess not. Is there anything else on this man? It doesn't look like it, so it's just the deuce. Let's make sure we're on the thing that we need to be on. Oh, I guess we just present this. There's something something not right about the name on the pendant. The victim is the Yamano family butler, and his name is Oliver Deacon. Oh my god. Oh, is Colin Devoray, is that an anagram of Oliver Deacon? Did dude really do that to make his, like, name? I'm pretty sure it is. Like, I haven't, like, one-to-one it, but... Oh, Phoenix Wright Games. Okay. But the name of the pendant is Colin Devoray. I wonder what's up with that. I don't know. But I think we've hit upon an important piece of information. Do 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 do. Investigation complete. Yeah, give me my HP back. Thank you. Lance! Lance! Where are you, sweetie? Excuse me, but you are. Hmm?
Oh, this is bad. He's really good looking. Stop it, Lauren. You can't let yourself fall for a playboy like him. You're in love with...
It sounds like someone doesn't know the meaning of the phrase inner monologue, huh? Sorry to interrupt your conversation, but might you be a friend of Lance? Can't be mad at a game that does name anagrams. You play Fire Emblem. That is fair, Bubbles.
Yes, I'm Lance's girlfriend. My name is Lauren Pulps.
She has a ring pop. His girlfriend.
Oh, it's not like that. We're more like friends. And, we're not lovers or anything. Well, we haven't gone that far yet. But I guess that's how people are going to see it. So, I should just accept it. I even got this ring as a present from Lance.
You know what she reminds me of? A cartoon character. May I inquire as to why you are here?
I haven't been able to get in contact with Lance lately. And I began to get really worried. I've looked everywhere for him. And then I heard about the kidnapping. So I came here.
Wow, you're really strong for having made it through all this by yourself.
Is it true? Has Lance really been kidnapped?
No one is supposed to know, but yes, it's true.
Oh, Lance, I can't believe you've been spirited away. I wonder how you're doing right now.
Looks like she's gone back to the fair maiden in love routine. Man, I have terrible news. So, Mr. Edgeworth, where do we go from here? Well, we found a body. So should we look into the murder? Hold it. Oh. It's time to be Agent Lang. My man brought me up to speed over the radio. And I've got to say, you really should have called. I heard you found something very intriguing. I have nothing to hide, Agent Lang. It's exactly what you see before you. I'll take it from here. Yeah, that guy's really dead. Hey, you waiting for an invitation? Hurry up and detain the suspect now. Suspect who? Officer Meekins, is it? You're coming with us. What? Sir, I had nothing to do with it, sir. Agent Lang, don't you think you're being a bit rash? Do you even have a good reason to suspect Officer Meekins? Huh, I'll leave that kind of stuff to you prosecutors. It's your job, after all. Like I said earlier, crime scene isn't as forgiving as your precious courtroom. That's your answer. I know you like your logic and reasoning, but that sort of impractical fluff is not needed out here in the field. We don't do logic when we're investigating a crime scene. Jesus. All you have to do is arrest suspicious person after suspicious person. That's how you eliminate crime from the streets. But that's also precisely how you unnecessarily arrest innocent people by mistake. Innocent people? Nonsense. There's no such thing as an innocent person. We've all got blemish or two in our hearts. That's tyranny. I won't allow for such things to go unchecked before my eyes. Too bad you don't call the shots around here. As I have sworn to uphold the laws of this land, I cannot allow you to take this man in. That you would arrest a man on false charges without even conducting an investigation. Have you no honor as a member of the law enforcement? How dare you speak so disrespectfully to our Shifu? Hold it. You amuse me, Mr. Prosecutor. Lang Zi says, every pack has its own rules. If you can play by their rules, come out on top, that is a true victory. Alright, I'll give your beloved laws a fair shake. I'll show you just how much investigating I've done. Though, through my line of logic. Finger point! Great. We got our first actual arguing with Shilon Lang. So, I gotta say, he's got good drip. I gotta admit. Like, he's meant to be wolf-like. He definitely is. And I like the gold dragon on his arm and the back of his jacket. I don't know. It's a fun look. Alright. I've seen a lot of bodies like the one being carted off in my time. I could say he was shot with a single glance. But even you could figure that much out, right? With your current gun laws, it's not exactly easy to get your hands on a gun. Fair. Not unless you're a member of law enforcement like Officer Meekins, isn't that right? That is your reasoning? Solid as a rock. It's based on the philosophy of detainment. What's this philosophy of detainment? You don't know? In that case, pay attention, girlie. In my country, criminals have a saying, beware of the wolf. Why the wolf?
Because in my language, lang means wolf. And you don't mess with me or my pack. And as for the detainment philosophy, its father is my honorable ancestor, Lang Zi. You'd think I've heard of him or his teachings if he's that famous. Oh. Lang Zi developed it as he worked to lock criminals away thousands of years ago. To this day, the Zetfar police still trains its recruits using his philosophies.
But thousands of years ago? That makes your story about as believable as a fairy tale.
Anything wears down and breaks over time. Do you really believe something as ancient as that can be applied to today's world? You want to put it to the test? Rebuttal.
Hold it!
So what can you tell me about the body? A lot. Even without an autopsy, I have my ways. They teach you the basics forensics along with the detention philosophy. Oh, then you wouldn't mind telling me of a little of what you figured out, correct? Shot with a single glance. You can figure that out much out.
Hold it!
Yes, I think anyone who saw the bullet wounds would come to that same conclusion.
Not so fast!
Not so fast! Hey, don't pat yourself on the back yet. What's that supposed to mean? Just like this animation so much. Lang Zi says, search where the water's deepest. You have to keep your eyes on the big fish that lurks in the depths, which is the killer. Is that right? And what would you know about the killer? Current gun laws, it's not easy to get a gun.
Hold it!
Well, it would appear that you've studied a little of her laws. Studied? Who needs to study what every child on every street corner already knows? That's that. Sheena.
The Federal Firearms Restriction Act.
That's it. The Federal Firearms Restriction Act. I hear it's not easy to get a gun these days. Interesting. That woman is the one in charge of keeping track of the information.
Hold it!
If that's the case, there are plenty of other officers who might be potential suspects. You are not seriously going to arrest each and every one of them, are you? As if I would need to. I've already looked into everyone else here. Oh? Other than Officer Meekins, I know no one else's weapon has been fired. How did you check every single person's weapon in such a short span of time? That's because each and every one of my subordinates is extremely capable. It didn't take more than a few minutes to conduct an entire investigation. I mean, that's his benefit, right? He has like a whole squad of people that could do these things quickly. It feels like something that Francisca would be jealous of because, like, she likes her investigations to be perfect, but she doesn't quite have the manpower required to execute that plan as heartily as Lang does. She is gumshoe, which, if you've watched Justice for All at all, you can see how well that's been working out for her. But it's like a level of competency that Francisca wishes she could be a part of, which is probably why she's been working for Interpol. So, the power of sheer numbers. But you have yet to check Officer Meekin's weapon, correct? Thanks for reminding me. Hey, you! Show me your gun. Oh. What's wrong? Why does he look so sickly pale all of a sudden? Gun! What did you say? I can't hear. Oh, that's Lang. What'd you say? I can't hear you. Stop mumbling. Spit it out already.
Sir! I lost my gun, sir!
How could you be so irresponsible? In the end, it looks like you're still the only suspect we've got. You're the one who waited here outside the garage to ambush and kill the victim. So you think that Officer Meekin waited here to kill the victim, do you, Lang? I think this little accusation deserves a lot more scrutiny.
Hold it!
You mean to tell me that the murder occurred here, in this garage? Garage. I want to say that, but I always aim for the other one. What the heck? Oh, I just heard a banging noise, but it was just someone in the apartment above me making noise. Okay. From the fact that the suspect was found almost next to where the body was found, I'd say that was pretty obvious at the crime scene. Dr. Lane Z says a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. Hey, finally a quote even I've heard before. Furthermore, Lane Z says, successful investigations are a result of multiple returns to the crime scene. You're giving this dork too much credit. I've seen Meekin's man couldn't murder a crow, let alone a person. Wasn't like Meekin's like fully like taken out by what was it? I assume it was the cowboy guy in Justice for All, right? He just like clocked him real good and knocked him out. He has like no fight in him. If Meekins keeps getting accused of murder, does that make him a Maya? Is that part of the rule set, or do they have to have been an assistant to be a Maya? Because Maggie is a Maya, but she's never been an assistant. Although I guess she kind of is an assistant in her own case in Justice for Law. Justice for All, not Justice for Law. More things to think about. Looks like neither detectives nor criminals have changed their ways over the millenniums. Justice for lol. They have to be an assistant, and they also have to have the competence in one weird skill. That's fair. Because, like, yeah, Maya, the OG Maya, is like, you know, spirit medium, and Pearl has that too. Although I don't think Pearl counts really as a Maya because Pearl's never been accused of a crime. Yet, anyway. But Trucy, I guess, would be a Maya. And obviously Kay is a Maya. And we did have our flight attendant Maya. So this is the kind of conclusion the philosophy of detainment can lead you to.
Pearl is a proto-Maya. Give it time. Yeah, maybe if like the next trilogy of Phoenix Wright does a time skip and Maya and Pearl is like in her teens, that's when she'll be accused of murder. Because Pearl does show up in the second trilogy. So I think at that point she would be like, I don't know, like 14 or something. So maybe she just needs to be a little bit older before she could get accused of murder. I don't get it, Mr. Edgeworth. Why are you putting yourself on the line for Mr. Meekins? This is a very good question, Kay. It's not that I particularly care what happens to Officer Meekins. Next trilogy, lol. Yeah. I mean, I have hopes. I feel like with all of the like re-releases they've been doing, and they've actually been doing really well for them from what I understand, they might actually be able to fund doing another game. Whether it'll be like a lot of them, I don't know. Pearl is 17 in Spirit of Justice? Are you kidding me right now? It's been a little bit since I've played Spirit of Justice. I'm trying to think. Is that the game she cameos in? I know she shows up in one of the sequel trilogy games. I just, I don't remember exactly which one it was.
What? Meekins. However, I cannot simply stand by while Agent Lane ignores our country's laws.
They will do a Layton crossover before they do another new game. You mean a second Layton crossover? Is that what you mean? She's apparently 18 in the last game. Well, that's Spirit of Justice, so maybe she has a birthday during it. No, they will re-release the first one. The Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton crossover game was interesting. I don't know if it was like a good showing of either game particularly well, but like I think they did the best they could with combining a puzzle game with a Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game. It was like you had to solve puzzles, and then that would lead you to clues that would help you investigate the crimes. So I guess it kind of works in a little bit. It's just extra steps to getting the things you want, and then there was a bunch of side things too, but
Shilong Lang. Just what sort of investigator are you?
Alright. Well, obviously, we need to present on the last one. Present. Do we just present this? Despite the fact that the final bullet cleaned through the very little blood. Yeah, okay. So I guess this is what we present?
Objection!
Yeah, okay. Pearl's an adult now. That's so weird.
Unfortunately for you, Agent Lang, that's simply not possible.
What do you mean?
You've seen the crime scene for yourself. And while you were looking, did you not think to yourself it was a little too clean?
I like his on the defensive stance.
So, did you notice that there was too little blood? Do you still wish to claim that Officer Meekins committed murder here? Because this isn't the crime scene. And if it was your men who led you to think it was, then I suggest you leave this case to the local police to set the record straight.
Not bad. I see your logic can be just as sound as mine. In that case, let me ask you this. Don't you think it's weird that an officer is hanging out around here in the first place?
Weird. How so?
Hey, you! Your squad's not even supposed to be in this area, right? What were you doing neglecting your duties and loafing around here? Don't you dare give me some lame excuse like I found myself taking a walk.
But sir, I really did take a walk, sir.
You're a disgrace. How dare you take a pack of obligations so lightly?
Officer Meekin is looking extra meek. Is he hiding something?
Mr. Edgeworth, please, sir. Save me the way you did earlier, please, sir.
Officer Meekins, please give us a detailed account of what happened.
Sir, not you too, sir.
Oh no, we gotta argue with Meekins? Meekins' testimony.
It's true, sir. I wasn't assigned to this area, sir. I was told to check every square inch of the main gate area, sir. I also went looking for the kidnappers while selling dreams in the big blue Badger mobile, sir. But I got completely caught up in my role selling dreams to the children, sir. Before I knew it, I found myself here in this area, sir.
Argue is a very loose term. Yeah.
What is this blue Badger mobile?
It's moving store on wheels that sells sweet dreams and merchandise, sir.
So the blue Badger mobile is just like a roaming souvenir shop?
Sir, I swear I was chasing the kidnappers down while I was being a good dream merchant.
He seems rather worked up, even more than his usual hyperactive self. He sure seems sure of what he's saying. Can you try and calm down and lower your voice to a more reasonable level, officer?
Sir! Roger, sir.
I need a big drink of water. My God, Meekins. Water drinking ASMR. All right. Press.
Hold it!
All right then. Where were you assigned to? I'm very glad that Edgeworth has a much smooth voice because being the leader of the game is very helpful.
I was assigned to the main gate, sir.
You must mean the area with the bridge and the outrageous fountain.
Okay, then why are you here at the Wild Wild West area?
That's because a very deep reason, ma'am. I was told to check every square inch of the main gate, sir.
Hold it!
Describe for me how you conducted your investigation.
Yes, sir. Well, first I made sure that there was no suspicious-looking people in the area, sir. But the only people that seemed to gather around me were little girls, sir.
That needs more context, Meekin.
Well, what did you expect? You're dressed like the Blue Badger.
I thought I had no choice at that point, sir, so...
I also went looking for kidnappers while selling dreams of the Blue Badger mobile.
What exactly do you mean by selling dreams?
Sir, the Blue Badger mobile is where dreams are collected.
What?
Sweetness like you've never known except in dreams, ma'am. Like innocent drops. A bitterness only found in the nightmares, ma'am. Like guilty jawbreakers.
Oh God, the term jawbreaker just makes me not happy. Ugh. Okay.
Selling those as I push the Blue Badger along in my sworn duty, ma'am.
Can we just have gummies or other soft treats? I would be good with that. I am a very much like gummy treat kind of girl. All right.
Completely got caught up in my role of selling dreams.
Hold it!
You completely forgot to look for the kidnappers.
No, sir, of course not, sir. I would never do something like that, sir. You're absolutely right.
Wow, you're good at forcing people to confess the thing, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be frank, I'm just a little man, sir. I'm better at selling kids a few small dreams than looking for a big crook, sir.
Hold it!
Gummy candy is the best. Yes, thank you, Captain. I love me some gummy candies. Definitely lean that more than chocolate. If I'm to be honest, like if I have chocolate, it has to be filled with something because I'm not a big on pure chocolate. If I'm gonna have like a treat,
That's also why I typically will lean towards like vanilla flavored things over chocolate flavored things. Except for a brownie. Brownies are an exception. I want to make brownies. Enough wallowing in your own self-pity. Let's return to your testimony.
Yes, sir! Before I do it, I found myself here in this area, sir.
Hold it!
How did you wind up all the way over here?
I was in the middle of the sea of kids, sir. But one of the kids decided to challenge me to a fight, sir. I had to run away from the child's painful drop kicks, and before I knew it...
The good old drop kick. I dished out my fair share of those when I was a kid. You are a terror, Kay. Just like all children, apparently.
I'm not even saying that because the current and common writer is gummy themed. Gummies are just the best. Habro, Wildberry, the ones lately. Oh, those sound lovely. I would be into that. Common writer is gummy themed though. So I feel like I somehow missed that in any explanation you've ever given me about common writer.
It was always best when you felt one really connect with your opponent.
Yes, and it's so good. I mean, that's good to hear after the complaints of the last one. Unless that's the same series. But I think this is implying it's a different one.
In any case, you wound up here for a reason completely unrelated to the investigation.
Sir! That's right, sir!
That's not something you should be admitting to with your head held high, officer. Sounds like he simply forgot about his real job and became the Blue Badger. However, there is one flaw in Officer Meekin's story, but I have a feeling that he'll need some prodding before he'll spill the beans.
Was it? I was told to check every square inch of the main gate area. Also went looking for the kidnappers. Got completely caught up in my role selling dreams to kids. Before I knew it, I found myself here in this area. New series. It's snack themed, and the primary rider uses gummies. The secondary uses chocolate, and so many people have died. Oh no! That sounds like a lot. So he's supposed to be at the main gate, but he found himself in the Wild West. Was parked inside the Wild West garage. That's true. But, okay, so is that relevant to what's going on here? Is that what they want me to do? Is present the Badger Mobile? I guess it doesn't hurt to try that.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. I just gotta think like an Ace Attorney game.
Officer Meekins, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell such transparent lies.
Sir! I'm lying, sir!
Yes, you are. If you were really out there selling dreams with the Blue Badger Mobile until recently, then what is it doing here inside the garage?
Ah! Actually, I just lost track, sir.
Lost track of what?
By the time I realized it was the Blue Badger Mobile, it was nowhere to be found, sir.
Which would mean that it was perhaps stolen.
And that's when I came back to this area thinking it might be was in the garage, sir.
But that's what you found me, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. A likely story. What do you think I'm gonna buy such a convenient tale as that? What exactly is so convenient about this story? Getting the car stolen? Completely unbelievable, even for a cover story. But I think we can assume the car was used alright. To move the dead body.
What?
You killed the victim at some distant location, Officer Meekins. And then you used the blue Badger mobile to transport it all the way here. The music in this game is good. Bum, bum, bum. Now then, you're coming with me. But it wasn't me, sir. The killer, sir. It wasn't me, sir. Agent Lane, wait. What do you want now? We still don't know where the real crime scene of the crime is. You can't say that we know all the facts of this case, let alone the truth. Told ya, truth schmooth, couldn't care less. Our job's to catch the crook. You'll find your precious truth after we arrest this guy and take him in. It's no wonder all of the crimes we do in Ace Attorney are people being falsely accused of things if they all have the attitude of this guy. But at least with Lang, it's like his philosophy, and with the normal cops, it's just they're bad at their job. That's a job for you prosecutors in your fancy courts with your logic. As for us, we don't have that kind of time to waste. You boyish buffoon. I think you need to leave. I think he's a good antagonist, kind of. Rival character for Edgeworth. I think I said that last time, but... What? We need to get the body at the autopsy, and you guys are getting in the way. You would interfere with another one of my investigations. Hey now, let's not forget who holds the actual authority to conduct investigations here. I'm afraid the one doing the interrupting is you, my ignorant little pretty boy. Oh my. Lang, he has a boyfriend. Now, be a good fancy boy. Get out of my sight. If you don't, I'll arrest you for obstruction of justice. Okay, to be continued. Save. Part 1 complete. We are in the middle. Find the eyewitness. Okay, I'm gonna take like, I don't know, like 2 minutes just to rest my voice. And then I will be right back for middle. Got a nice little bit of honey. Soothe the throat after having a freaking read for Meekins. Let's hope that we get some fun new characters that aren't also blue badgers. March 13th, 1:22 p.m., Gatewater Land, main gate. Ugh. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Kay.
There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is?
You really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal?
A life. It's too heavy a burden on your soul to get away with, ever.
That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. Ah. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands, when I apprehend the murderer myself.
All right, and I'm gonna work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go.
I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to have to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe! Mr. Edgeworth! The stadium! Hurry, sir! This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium! A witness? You, what did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? Jake's up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir! Aw, those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, okay? Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet the witnesses. Okay, I would like to point out that they have not closed the park. There are kidnappers and known shooters in this theme park, and there is a father and child just wandering around the park. Yeah, this is a good remix. Do 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 do. Oh, there is a pink Badger mobile here. March 13th, 1:42 p.m. Stadium. I thought there was a witness here.
Yeah, I don't see anyone.
Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, look who it is.
Long time no see.
You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the youngest sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. Look who it is! 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics.
I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad?
You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes. Scientifically.
Science Maya! The Galarian form of Maya. Yeah. I don't know why they did that too. Like, maybe they just... Because, like, their sprites are very similar in the original game, right? Like, they've done a lot to differentiate her now, but...
I've been studying nonstop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist.
But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. Science Maya, this is Thief Maya. Please get acquainted. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years.
Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Skye. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief.
A great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on.
You bet we do.
All right, Emma. So why are you here, Emma?
Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And then I heard you'd come back so I raced over here. I had really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I just missed you.
And how exactly did you know I was here?
Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you.
I like the sprite a lot.
Also, I'm pretty sure she is like typing on a DS here, but
I used these to track your footprints and followed them straight to you. This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the light on it, zing! The footprints light up like electrified noble gas in the gas tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking.
Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than it at this very moment.
hey, the DS did have a keyboard you could plug into the GBA slot. To fight a DS-style device in a DS game? Never. I know, right? I mean, I assume that, like... what was I gonna say? No, I don't know.
The witness. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about?
Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said.
What is that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking.
So let me guess. There's been a murder, right?
Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint to her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go?
Can I present any of this to you?
Scientifically calculating and thinking critically about this, then putting it in the way of the transmits the feeling that I understand. Whew, done. She makes it sound like she knows what she's talking about, but she really has no idea.
Admittedly, I'm slightly confused by what she just rattled off.
Well, let's look around. There is this convenient car here.
I assume this is another Badger-mobile?
Yeah, but it's a different color than the Blue Badger's car.
Yes, this is a retina searing pink model. What's that off in the distance?
Look who it is!
Oh, hey, it's the Pink Badger! Badger, get!
Badger. Badger, 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 badger. Just what does she see in these silly things? Place your bets now. Who is in the pink badger? There's a sash that says tough love on it.
I think this badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Are you by any chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak badger dance. Who is in this thing? Boo, boo, boo. Do, 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 do. Oh no!
Oh, I can't take me inside that stuffy head anymore!
You're... No! Why here? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. I'm so mad I'm 2 for 2. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me grief.
Edgy poo! Why could you understand that what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really. I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. But couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm going to just be direct.
I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of a waking nightmare. Oh, poor Edgeworth.
So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth? Too, Miss Pink Badger? You could say that, but right now, I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie.
She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman.
My name is Wendy Oldbag, but you can call me Wendy or Granny or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about some young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite.
And she has a handcuff around her. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatorwater hotels last time we met? In Justice for All?
I go where I'm needed.
How many jobs has this woman had?
I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today.
Wendy Oldbag is definitely the kind of person who says that millennials don't want to work. You know? She's that woman. Too many.
I get called in all the time to fill in where there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are, talking with 2 young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't matter how old you are, you always flirt with young girls. And just the other day, I thought he noticed me, and then he arranged to be, and then he was with an 18-year-old, and I couldn't see him.
You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, please, I am begging you. By all means, do not provoke her any further. Yep. She outright went, facts are optional in the other case. Yeah, that sounds about right. What did she even say? Let me see here.
Men are all the same. It doesn't matter how old they get. They continue to shamelessly flirt with young girls. Why, just the other day, happened with my Yun, who I had finally gotten to notice me. He went and got into an arranged marriage with an 18-year-old. I don't see what he sees in her at all. As they say, the persimmon takes 3 years to ripen. That girl...
Okay, Miss Edgeworth. Miss Edgeworth? Oh, shit. That would be Edgeworth's worst nightmare. I am so sorry, Edgeworth, that I said that.
Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness.
Honestly, I hope she isn't. But I don't think fate is going to be so kind today.
I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true. She is the witness.
I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag.
Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder.
You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes?
Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me.
Do you have to be a witness in this case? Why? Okay.
I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over, and I saw 2 men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes. I can't afford to ignore what she says. Unfortunately.
What is unfortunately you tacked on at the end supposed to mean, Mr. Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady.
Rebuttal.
Can you stay for a break?
Hold it!
You mean you took a break from being the pink badger?
You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell of sweat. Your hip creaks with pain. You even begin to dream about work.
That's the kind of story that would scar a child for life, you know.
Well, that's why I chose to come and take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing a part of a dead badger in front of the bunch of kids.
So, what did you see while you, the pink badger, were resting?
Oh, yes, that. Well, as I was resting, I happened to glance over and saw 2 men facing each other in that area.
Hold it!
You saw 2 men. Can you describe them for me?
They looked like they were your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over.
Okay, Wendy.
I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that.
But did they have any special features? Anything that you can recall that would be very helpful?
Oh my, don't tell me you were jealous of those 2 men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous.
It's all right, Edgy Poo. Those 2 were just foals compared to a stallion like you.
Oh, no.
I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them.
There's a loud gunshot. The person who shot fell to the ground.
Hold it!
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place.
Absolutely. The gun made a terrible racket when it was fired.
You didn't try to go and help the person that got shot?
I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help.
2 men, 1 bullet. It's all consistent with what we found up from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on your testimony.
Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we?
While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem. Oh, thank God, we just had to go through her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes.
So, about this new problem,
What is that giant grin on your face for?
do you want me to show you something really nice?
No, thank you.
Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like.
What is that gadget you're holding?
What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief.
I should have known it would be worthless.
Aw, don't be like that. Ahem. Behold the power of being Gen Z. What do you think now?
What is this doing? It's projecting something into the air.
I'm gonna input the unnecessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Recreation! What is this?
This is a recreation of the murder based on the information inputted into Little Thief.
Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a little bit too far.
Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this. Let's see. Miss Oldbag said there were 2 men who were facing each other. And then the gunshot rang out, and the victim fell to the ground.
So with this, we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past.
See? So what do you think?
I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. VR has come a long way.
Well, it is super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu.
Indeed.
Oh, but if there isn't enough information or if something's out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange.
In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony.
You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right now, the simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification.
Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the ways that you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got Little Thief with me, so just let me know, okay? Begin investigation!
Why don't you patent this and make all the money? But then there'd be a bunch of Yatagarasus, and she wants to be the only one. You know?
According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here.
That's right, but
if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction.
Huh? What? Where?
If this is the real crime scene, and there is something missing that should be here, which piece of evidence shows the missing item?
The blood, I assume? But how would I show that? I guess this is what I need to use?
Take that!
This is the contradiction.
Eh? Is something wrong with my recreation?
If this is the real crime scene, something specific should be here. If you think back how you deduced that the other crime scene was not the real one. Oh, I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right? Right. Every time I say that word, I get a shiver down my spine. The fact that there's no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony.
Auntie Pooh, how could you doubt me like that?
Are you
Calling me a liar! I know what I saw. I saw the victim get shot down!
You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there's another explanation for why there's a distinct lack of blood. This is a silhouette of the killer, with his gun at the ready. Okay, it's not possible to recreate the face of the killer. Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into the little thief. Just a point. This is amazing! Just feel the power of science! Okay, I need something more to present that. Okay, what else is there to examine? Looks like they broke the stage down. The stage I saw this morning in the center of the stadium has been packed away. I guess this means that they're done for the day. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to run tomorrow. Yes? Recreation. So you've been believing that this gadget will provide us with the proof we need? Yeah, of course. Pretty neat, huh? By inputting info like this, we can recreate the crime scene exactly as it was. Although, Little Thief was originally intended to be a training sim for heists. A training sim for thievery? I don't believe I can turn a deaf ear to that, Kay.
It's for practice. Practice! It's not like I've actually stolen anything yet. Besides, we're in the middle of an investigation, so stop nitpicking.
Even if it were just practice, I can't exactly endorse the act of stealing. Although, admittedly, this device is rather useful in an investigation. So how am I supposed to use this to aid my investigation?
Oh, that's right. I guess I should explain how to use it, huh? Objects outlined in yellow are things that are not present in our timeline, but they were in the past. Things outlined in a dotted line are things that exist now, but didn't in the past.
I see.
You can examine and interact with replicated people and objects as you normally do. You can even present evidence whenever you find an inconsistency. Oh, and be sure to point out mistakes in the recreation with evidence, too.
Very well. Let's continue with the investigation.
There's something that you don't get about Little Thief. Feel free to ask me, okay?
Okay, so if I go in logic, why is there no blood? It's because the stadium was packed up, maybe? No. Okay, apparently not. Let me just make sure there's nothing to look at.
Was there no blood because the victim was in costume? So all the blood would be in the costume? Yeah, that's what they want me to say. Okay. It's always the other one. For some reason, I always pick the wrong one first.
Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume?
So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers?
I think we can reasonably assume that there was a very good chance that he was. And that he was shot while he was inside one of the stolen costumes.
Then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground.
Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume.
You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them since there doesn't seem to be any around.
Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those.
Maybe if we ask Emma. She is science, Maya, after all. This is amazing. I just feel the power of science.
Print analysis. Emma, about your method you were talking about for finding footprints.
Ah, finally, my expert knowledge in forensics is needed.
Yes, well, can you detect even trace even partial footprints?
Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything.
Very well. If you would please analyze the footprints in this area. Analyze. Okay.
Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work.
Do-do-do. Yeah, you spray that sand with your luminol. It's not luminol, that's for blood, but still.
Hey, I found something. Look right here.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth.
These footprints. They were definitely left by the badger costume.
Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest.
Then we can conclude the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time.
Okay, so it's hard proof now that they were in a costume.
Okay, in that case, I'll update Little Thief simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new information.
Investigation complete. Yeah! I mean, I don't blame the murderer. If he was in a blue badger costume, I probably would have shot him too.
So the victim was wearing a costume when he died.
And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right?
I see the recreation has changed in accordance to the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention.
What do you want?
Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please.
No, I don't want to hear her testimony one more time. What you witnessed. Is it the same?
Came to this witness, Sarah, to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and saw two men
Facing each other in the area. No, it's the same. Okay. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot. The person was shot. He fell to the ground. It's a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
So, does this mean Miss Oldbag's testimony has a contradiction in it?
Yes, I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation.
I see. I just knew a Little Thief would be of help. Now, let's see if we can pull more information from Miss Oldbag with this put into the recreation.
For that, we must first find the contradiction in a testimony.
Okay. For my voice, we're going to go directly to the thing. She saw two men facing each other. But we already know he was wearing a costume. So,
Objection!
Two men. How did you know the gender of the two people involved? Seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time. Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all.
But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my own eyes. From a seat in the second tier.
Second tier?
Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier?
That was, you know. I was using the phrase metaphorically, in a metaphorical sense.
I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense.
Cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for the hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap.
I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up.
Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there?
Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know? Not like when I was young and all the people used to call me on the good man of the judgmental lies.
Let us return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? What did she say? My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know. Not like when I was young. People used to call me Eagle-Eyed Wendy back then. I could spot a good man from 100 paces away as I walked down the street just like that. Of course, they also noticed me in a flash and tried to make their move. But I'm not that easy. I was a careful girl with a judgmental eye, but I never let a good man slip me by. You bet I didn't, even if I could have seen. Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay?
You got it.
alright. Well, we now know that this should be not broken. Which means the stage was packed up. Stage and shadow. So let us connect these two to be like, the scene was different before.
If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down.
Do you want me to input that bit of information into Little Thief?
Yes, if you please.
Okay.
Gotta make it a stage. Uh-oh. Okay, this doesn't work, obviously, because he's kind of glitching into the stage. There's clearly
A contradiction here.
Please stop stealing my lines.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me.
You never see it coming. You I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was very real stage set up on the spot at the time.
Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything?
Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation.
Isn't it obvious the killer was on top of the stage, naturally? Right, Miss Oldbag?
Yes, I remember it now. The killer was standing on top of the stage.
See? Now let me update the information in the simulation.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, well. What do we have here? Bunch of hooligans running amok, I see.
Agent Lane, how nice of you to join us.
Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes.
Agent Lane, we've discovered a real scene of the murder here. The stadium.
I see. Thanks.
For what?
I'm just trying to show my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that?
The little thief is not a toy.
You too. Sir! Oh, they recreated the stage. And there you have it. You see? Big boys like me don't need silly little toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation.
So what? Do you intend to insert that Officer Meekin is the killer?
Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. Well, gotta argue with Sheila Lang now. This is a real crime scene. Officer Meekin lay in wait at the victim at the top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, shot him from high. That's the truth of your little recreation showed.
How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekin of the crime?
He's the most likely suspect we got, especially given the situation with his gun.
Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark.
You see? Thank you for understanding my little crow girl.
I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend.
Unfortunately, your conclusion is yet to be tested, so we'll see how well it holds up. Rebuttal.
Agent Lane's logic. This is the real scene of the crime. Oh, wait. We're gonna press
Hold it.
Looks like we found the real crime scene first.
Brag all you want. We don't have all the free time unlike you two.
You know what you remind me of? A dog licking his wounds as he whimpers home.
Well, I guess I should be thankful for all the time you saved me. She? Is that how you say that? Is when it's an X? I'm not sure. That's how we say thanks in my country.
You're welcome. I hope he realizes we didn't do all this for him.
But I'm here now, so I'll be taking over. As I was saying, this is where the crime took place.
Officer Meekin? Lying in wait? How did Officer Meekin even know the victim was going to come here?
Simple. He was investigating the kidnappers, right? While I was doing so, came to understand the victim, Mr. Deacon's movements.
Objection!
You give Meekin way too much credit, Shilon Lang.
Ha! And why would the good officer want to ambush and kill a kidnapper?
Knuckle back!
You mean his motive? Who knows? Who cares? You can find that out for yourself when you talk to him in jail.
You have no respect for the order of law.
Don't get me wrong. But I need there to be more than there's no motive to convince me otherwise.
He's right. The lack of motive is a rather weak argument by itself.
So the officer waited late atop of the stage. His victim finally showed up. He shot him in front of
Hold it!
So, you agree with how our recreation turned out?
Like I said, grateful you were able to save me some time.
Alright, but we still don't know why he chose to wait atop the stage.
Who cares? Maybe he wanted to become the Blue Badger. Who's to say he didn't see the stage and decided to put the Badger stage show on his own? Off on his own.
Or maybe there's a completely different reason. What does it matter? It doesn't change the fact that Officer Meekins stood up on that stage and shot the victim from the ground below. I mean, I already know that's not true, but we're gonna... That's what your recreation showed. I'm just gonna go here and present... So, the thing is the bullet entered through the abdomen and exited the shoulder, which implies that he was shot from the stomach in an upward angle. So...
Objection!
I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lane. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all. What's that supposed to mean? You said that a victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body specifically, where the gunshot wounds were located. Yeah, the remixes in this game, pretty good. Actually, I didn't get that good of a look. Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon's abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angle shot from beneath the victim. Then, yes, our recreation has the victim being shot at an angle from above. A clear contradiction! You're discounting your own conclusions? No, this is one point is the only flaw. This was mistaken parameter in our recreation. Stage's location, the witness's location, the killer, and the victim's location. Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong. I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe that the killer and the victim were standing in opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was atop the stage as he was being shot by the killer. If this is what happened, then it would explain the positioning of the gunshot wounds. But then what about the footprints? Since the footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume. Okay, I'll try using that data instead. Oh no, it was Badger on Badger murder! This has gotten out of control. Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say that it was killing between two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. Yeah, he was in a Badger costume, to be fair. Another bit of proof. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. 3 marks indicating the blue Badger mobile. That story Officer Meekin told us about the shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the blue Badger mobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. You believe he moved the body with the car? That's right. It was Officer Meekin himself who pointed us to the way he did. The 3 tired tread marks are very telling. However, is the blue Badger mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? No, of course not. Look at the tire marks.
Hold it!
The tire marks. Yes, the tire marks. The ones behind the stage. They were hidden up until now by various pieces of on-stage equipment. As for when they were made, they must have been made after the rain had begun to fall, correct? Yes, probably around the same time as when the killer's footprints were made. Tires of that Blue Badger mobile probably got pretty muddy after that. I'd say the Blue Badger mobile because, well, that's pretty obvious too. 3 marks, indicative.
Hold it.
3 tire marks. I have to agree that the Blue Badger mobile has 3 tires. Of course. And the only thing in this park that could make those marks is a roving shop.
Objection.
Are you forgetting that there are, in fact, 3 of them? I can't simply ignore the pink and the proto Badger mobiles, Agent Lang.
Not so fast.
Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of those other 2, but I see no reason to drag them into this or to complicate things. It's just a lie.
Hold it.
Of course, you have some sort of proof that it was all a lie, correct? Of course not. Well, that was blunt. But I suppose it is a lie. It would explain a lot of things, like his movements and his whereabouts. Drove the Blue Badger mobile here and committed murder.
Hold it.
So, you still claim that the tire marks belong to the Blue Badger mobile? Must have arrived on the scene after the ground had become wet with the rain. Officer Meekins committed the murder. He used the car to move the body.
Hold it.
Besides the Blue Badger mobile, there are other ways the body could have been moved.
Not so fast.
Recall what the Wild West area looked like. Only the Blue Badger mobile and Mr. Deacon's body were in the garage. I'd say that's proof. I suppose if one were to look at that place, that would be the only logical conclusion. However, my experience tells me that the truth is usually not so easily found. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement in regard to that scene? Well, there's no mud on the tires of the Blue Badger mobile. It looks like the only thing that car was selling was death, not dreams. Only if what Agent Lang believes turns out to be true. 3 tire tread marks are very telling, however. Is the Blue Badger mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? Okay, so... Is that the thing they want me to present it on? No, I haven't saved it a bit. Not that I'm like scared to get things wrong because I will, but it's good to get this, alright. What do they want me to present here? I mean, this feels like the only thing I can present, so let's give it a shot. Sorry, Agent Lang. That's impossible, Tail. Why is that? Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekin's Blue Badger mobile. One look at the car would have told you so. Okay, so I was right. It was the lack of mud. What proves that the Blue Badger mobile has never been to the stadium?
Take that.
Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stand out as a very peculiar indeed. And how do you explain the tire tracks, genius? Hey,
Hey, I got it. What about Miss Oldbag's pink badger mobile?
Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second... What voice am I doing right now?
Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second tier seats.
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there's yet one more roving store, as I recall.
Oh, you mean the proto-badger?
That's right. There is one more parking space inside the garage. It proves the existence of the Proto-Badger mobile. Agent Lane, I suggest you find this Proto-Badger mobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it.
Hey, did you hear something?
Help. Oh. Who is this mysterious person? Help me.
Are you alright?
Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time?
Wild West with kidnappers. He was in the room next to the one I was held in. Ran away using underground and got lost. That kidnappers.
What's this? I can't understand what you're trying to say.
The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes.
Did you say the faces of the kidnappers?
No, I didn't see their faces, but one was woman.
A woman?
Quite an
important piece of testimony. Hey, what you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. I even let you guys have what the kid just said just now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you gonna get out of my crime scene, or am I gonna have to get rough?
Again? You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go.
Oh, no. Not you. You're very important to the case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily.
Don't count on me to testify, because I won't. Not for you.
That's right. I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper?
Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not gonna rough either of you up. I give you my word. Come on, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate?
Fair maidens? My, you little rascal. You sure know a way into a woman's heart.
Like she says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever. God, I wish. I feel like a dinosaur every day. Further into the future you go.
Try to outdo my edgy poo with your fancy schmancy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement.
Sure. Just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Okay, but what kind of dinosaur? Fair. Maybe if I made sure I was a specific kind of dinosaur. Okay, let's save. We're still in the middle, but we are regrouping with Ernest Amano. Alright. I will rest my voice for another few minutes, and then we will go into this part. I'll be right back. I must think about what kind of dinosaur I am. You should all also figure out what kind of dinosaur you are. I am so sorry if that was really loud. I dropped my mic for a second. Okay, but hopefully that's all fine. I think if I was a dinosaur, I have decided I would likely be the kind of dinosaur that Ducky was in Land Before Time. I don't know what that's called. Like, I would love to be like a brontosaurus or whatever the actual scientific name they've discovered for that is these days. But I am short lady. I'm only like 5'1". It's not happening. March 13th, 2:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area.
Looks like we got the boot again. With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder.
You mean the infighting between the kidnappers?
Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper.
Miles, my boy. Tell me it's true. Tell me that you've really found my boy.
Yes, Mr. Amano. We found him early in the stadium.
And my little Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's been questioned right now by Agent Lane.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a...
Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough.
It was nothing.
I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say, I am relieved that Lance is all right. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. I'm basic as they come. T-Rex, weird shaped, big, looks scarier than I am, and confused scientist to this day. T-Rex are pretty cool. They are the love of most young boys, I find, so. If you think about it, if T-Rex is your favorite, then clearly you are the least dinosaur of the dinosaurs. Because you're still young at heart. My dear Lance Amano, may I come to see you again, your beloved Viola.
A letter?
Not favorite, just the one I know best match me. Fair enough. Ah, the way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know. Here, take a look at it for yourself.
Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple love letter.
Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird.
Tender Lender Loan Company.
Is that the same loan company from the third game? Were they called Tender Lender?
I think they are. It's been a while since I've played that one, so I'll have to confirm when Chris plays it eventually, so. Oh, wait! Yeah! I'm pretty sure Viola is a character from that game, and she's scary as hell. Oh, okay, yeah. This is all a reference to a game that hasn't been streamed yet, but that's okay. Ankylosaurus is my favorite. Good old Maze Tail. That is a pretty popular one, it's true. I would say that, like, Digimon probably made me a fan of those. So.
It's from a loan company? Tender Lender? Looks like more like a collection bill to me.
All right, lady.
He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just try one more time.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose. If they were me, then...
I believe you said that you're Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but... it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring. So I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because this isn't just an ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Oh, it's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? Have you guys not decided that if you're going out, or is it just one-sided? Bam!
Decided. Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know? Edgeworth doesn't know how relationships work, so... You buy 12 for like $10. Oh, ring pops. I used to get those as a kid. They weren't really that good, but like, you know, it was a lollipop you could wear as a ring. Who doesn't love candy jewelry, you know?
My father used to work for Mr. Amano. And so, Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud.
I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. Yeah, Edgeworth grew up alongside his boyfriend too. They were childhood friends. So, your father was an employee of the Amano Group. What did he do?
I heard that his job was to fly around the world. On a Pegasus.
The Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company.
You had me there for a second.
Until the accident.
But now, it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Until the accident. Oh, I see. About 10 years, he rode off. He rode in the Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff of legends are made of.
It's been so long. I don't think I'd recognize him if we ever met again.
I'm sure that won't be relevant.
I'm so sorry, Lauren. But it won't give in to sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live!
About the incident.
Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, well, it's because of my woman's intuition.
You based everything on that.
I know everything when it comes to my Lawrence. It's really strange. It must be destiny. Huh?
Ugh. She started fantasizing again. So what are we gonna do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
We've already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe that there is one location that might hold a clue or two. The isolation room, the kidnapper's hideout. Crime scene. The isolation room? The place where we were held prisoners.
Hold it! Don't let me in with you! I can't allow you to slander my good name as the great Yatuk thief by saying I was captured. being able to escape from somewhere qualifies as a caged bird, okay?
Besides, we checked that place out pretty well while we were in there, remember? Don't you think it'd be an even better idea to check somewhere else?
Perhaps you're right. What I really need right now leads to the killer's identity. I believe that there's one location that might hold a clue or two. Kidnapper's hideout. The obvious location's Kidnapper's hideout.
But we're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lane and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. Hey, sir. Could we maybe ask for a crust of bread? Will you let us in? What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such a redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us in to take a look around? Sir, roger, sir. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain didn't Agent Lane order you not to allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him. Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe is a following. Oh my god. Furthermore, I was asked to give you this document to you, sir. What is this? Man in the picture. Isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon? Or Colin Devilray? Sex. Male. Dominant hand. Right. Height. 5'8". Weight. 123.435 pounds. It's actually really light. Whereabouts unknown after his escape. From Penn E. Dent prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might have head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up.
But the name here says Colin Deveray.
That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Deveray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? But what was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he escaped felon.
I'm sure the fact that he has a daughter and wife won't be relevant to anything.
Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine. Let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, I think, and think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer.
It was unlocked until a little while ago, but since then, the door has been wide open, sir.
I'm not sure I follow what you're saying. Care to explain a bit more detail?
Sir, the door was locked down tight when we went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir.
I see. I guess that means that I get Agent Lane's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find.
It's okay. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. This is the kidnapper's hideout.
So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
Well, you were tied up for a while in the room next door. Tee-hee.
Okay, please. Must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity.
Kidnapper's hideout. Investigation started.
Alright. We got a basket here with a costume in it. This must be where they disposed of the old worn-out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they've thrown the costumes away in pieces. Okay. It's a broken mirror. Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth! It's a broken mirror. Probably came from the haunted house. Why is it here? Are they planning to repair it? Sus. Sign advertising the photo rally. Something I'd have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do. I'm gonna get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see. She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. Edgeworth's like, I don't know what to do when I have a daughter following me around. I'm not Phoenix right. Phoenix is used to this, like, adoption thing. Beyond this door is where the kidnappers held you after getting in the jump on you. Must you keep reminding me? But it's the room where I got to see your awesome yeah face. You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. The keys! I wonder what this key is to. You got me. Reminds me of the key I found in the other room. That's it! It must be the key for one of those trap doors. That wasn't a trap door. You only called it one because you quite literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? I am not having this conversation with you. Look, there's 3 cups here. Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like there's only 3 cups were used. There's the Gatewater land is stuck on the wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewater land has it all, and it's waiting for you. Not especially catchy, is it? Alright, I think that is oh wait. Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. There are 3 chairs set around the table. Okay, there's nothing. Yeah. I assume that's everything. I mean, I assume we're supposed to be like, yeah, there's 3 of these. And there's 3 cups. It's almost like 3 plus 3 equals connected. The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3. Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers. Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible that there was a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? Hey, there's a trap door in this room too. It's not a trap door. It's an entrance to an underground passage key. I know that. The door leading to the outside world was locked. So Lance must have escaped his prison through here. Oh, they have barrels just like outside. Yeah, son. Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them? There's an expectant gleam in her eye that I'm about to dash. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off. I feel bad using these because it'd be like stealing the perfection away. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away. Okay. So, is there anything else that needs to be looked at? What have we here? It looks like a sword. A broken sword. It's a really small sword. Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Swords don't usually break on their own. That's true. Alright then, let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. Oh, there's a lock on this door. Door's thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. Won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious thing. The panel that hid in the entrance of the underground is propped up and wide open. Be careful where you step, Kay.
I only fell into that other opening once, you know.
Which we already looked at this. We must get all the information. We already did this one. I assume they want me to look at the lock, I'll be honest.
The doorknob handle thingy looks pretty beat up.
I suppose that's what happens when when 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
Hey, that's odd. The lock on this side's completely fine. Look, not a single dent.
But how is that possible after what the officer told us?
Yeah, if the lock had been used in use when the door was busted open, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked.
So the lock of the door leading outside is undamaged? How can it be? Was it not locked? Could it be that the door wouldn't open because of the prop sword? It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock, and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time.
But the policeman outside said that it took 10 men to get it open.
A door that was locked tight, despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean...
Yes. It was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed?
So that's how the sword broke.
It was used to jam it. I thought we might uncover a true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. Ah! Kill it with fire! What is this? Well, well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of his secret entrance like that? Who's in this? Who's in this one? This is an underground passage used by the staff members, sir. We Badgers also use it on our own duties.
Look, why don't you get out of there first, and then we'll talk, okay?
Ah, I beg your pardon, miss.
Proto-Badger get. All right, one more to go.
Who is in the costume? Boop, boop, ba-da-doo. This creeper should go jump in a hole. What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget? The photo rally, duh! See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the bad badger, and I'm done!
Ah, yes. I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. What? It's gone! But where did it go? Huh? What happened? What's wrong? A bad badger costume's missing, sir!
Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnapper stole it.
heard about I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken. What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes you use. What did you mean by the Bad Badger costume is missing?
Well, just what I said, sir. We are 1 bad badger short. I'm not sure on this one. No body language is giving it away. It's true. Count the spares. We have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around the park, the other one should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room.
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at the set time each day. It's a stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park. So, the only time you can get a picture of the Bad Badger is during this event. The other Badgers must work together at random, sir. I'm speechless. That such a show exists. No kidding. Well, sir, I'm just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume. Then, doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to the showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I gonna do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes total. Then, are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh. Recall that the costumes for a minute. The stolen ones, you mean? What proves that the 4th kidnapper does not exist? I guess this?
Take that!
If you had 4 people, and you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a Pink Badger costume instead?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet, the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprit needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is, why? Alright, dude, you're freaking me out. Alright, logic, I assume is what I need to do next. The second Bad Badger costume, I believe it may have been closer at hand than we think.
What do you mean?
That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say it's wearing something very telltale some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of there and take a look.
As I suspected, the Bad Badger costume.
Well, mine is the head.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Look, there's a hole in it.
Look, the hands hurt.
Looks more like something was ripped off of it. Spot is somehow connected to anything in the evidence I hold. Oh, are we deducing the head, maybe? Because I can look at this part. I wonder why this Bad Badger costume's right hand is torn up like that.
Maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew the Blue Badger was a ferocious beast.
I somehow doubt that even the real badgers are bloodthirsty as that, Kay.
Okay, no, they want me to look at this, and they want me to be like, where's its gun? So we're gonna go to this, because if you look, he's supposed to have a gun. He's supposed to be a vile criminal with a gun, but he doesn't have a gun. I believe we have here is an inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be. Oh, the gun! Precisely. The bad badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However, you there, did you remove the gun from this bad badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought. The rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto-Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. I seems our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun. My dear costumed friend. I feel like it's kind of dangerous to just have a gun that can shoot blanks attached to a costume, though. It's ripped from the bad badger's costume. It's capable of firing blanks. Investigation complete. I think we're about done with this room. So what's next? Well, we found a few answers. But there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay. No, we have to figure out who's in the Proto-Badger costume. Damn it. March 13th, 3:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. You gotta hurry, sir. Come on. What is it, detective? They found the blue badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir. What? Isn't that the one that the kidnapper was wearing? Bingo! That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we might still get there before the wolf boy does, sir. All right, let's make haste to the main gate. To be continued. Save progress. Later. Final confrontation. Former. All right. I think this is a good place to stop. We've hit another to be continued point. And so next time I stream, I will be able to finish this case, I'm pretty sure. And we can probably start the fourth one. We're actually moving through this game pretty quickly. So that's pretty nice. Thank you for joining me, those who came to hang out, and I will see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.